Good morning, 15 minutes past the hour of 9. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Extra. Once again, I'm Robert Chirabonyonyitono, and I cannot get tired of thanking you for always being a part of Good Morning Uganda, Good Morning Extra. And always, please make it a date, because you look at issues of national concern, issues that affect us. We've just in agenda been having the president of the African Federation of Nurses and Midwives discussing plight of nurses. Now, we want to go political in the extra, and we want to look at 38 years of NRA, NRM rule. 38 years. These are going to be celebrated tomorrow in Jinja City, and we expect His Excellency to be the chief guest. Now, to discuss this, I have a seasoned politician, a man who spent 20 years in Parliament of Uganda. I mean, those are 4 terms as a member of Parliament. Currently, he is the Director of Information or Communication, NRM. And that is Emmanuel Dombo. Join me, welcome this interesting character that I'm having this morning. Good morning. It's been quite some long time.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you. Yes, it has been a while. It has been a while. But also a lot has been happening. But through various medias, people have been interacting.
And I love the fact that you're always watching UBC.
Absolutely,
I saw your tweet complaining of things that I'm also not in position to answer. But
well, I was asking even somebody from UBC yesterday, I think it was Mr. Onyango, when he came at the secretariat, and I asked him, I said, I enjoy watching UBC. Even in football, I have DSTV, but I watch UBC. But how come that the quality of picture during football is better on DSTV than it is on UBC? There are answers he gave me, I cannot repeat them. He will repeat them himself if he wants. But I got concerned and I decided to tweet to say, is it deliberate compression of the picture by the people who provide you the link so that we keep watching them? But anyway, that one I don't know, and I don't want to delve into that. Now
let's go into the topic of today. Well, tomorrow we'll be celebrating 38 years of NRM, NRA. It was in 1986 on the 26th of January when NRM, NRA took power of this country. Now, they have been in power for this period. And Honorable Dombo, to a youngster, because we have people who are 28, they are now mature people coming to 40. God has blessed you with longevity. But these people saw nothing of what happened. Either some were born, they were still very young, then there are those in their 20s, 24, they know nothing. There are those, even those 35, you hear stories, parents telling you, 36, we need to do this, that, but you don't connect so much. What is the relevancy of 38 years government spending chunks of money, and why should Ugandans celebrate? What is the unique there? We have our independence, we celebrate independence. Now, why do we celebrate this?
Well, before I delve into the topical discussion, allow me to commiserate with the family of the late Cecilia Ogwal,
yes,
the people of Dokolo, the people of Lira, and the people of Uganda upon this demise of a very prominent and very exemplary human being. For us at the National Resistance Movement, we invited I think 1 year ago, we invited Honorable Cecilia Ogwal to come to our party headquarters, to come and give a talk to the entire world and nation. We're on social media, we're online, and we had the political discussions and wanted to look at the genesis and empowerment of women, which has happened especially during the NRM administration.
No doubt about that.
And any other politician would have refused. But we invite Honorable Cecilia Ogwal, a very senior legislator from the opposition, a member of Forum for Democratic Change, She ably marched in Plot 10 Chadondo Road and talked to the people of Uganda. I saw the comments on social media. Even those who wished to attack her were attacked by the population. I want to thank Honorable Cecilia Wall. Rest in peace, but thank you for being a very good example to the people of Uganda. We shall be traveling to her place, to Lira, for burial after the celebrations. But like Honorable Cecilia said then, the NRM administration has laid the foundation upon which the nation will be traveling. During independence, we got liberated from the colonial administrators, and we got the reins of power through the people who received the instruments of leadership from the colonial masters. But there is a lot that went wrong after we had gotten our independence. That necessitated the people of Uganda, through the national resistance movement, to launch a protracted people's struggle in order to create the sanity that people watch and enjoy today. There are many young people who are born yesterday. You can see Parliament flourishing with the youngest leader of the opposition, perhaps in the whole of Africa. Many don't know that a few years ago, members of Parliament were murdered and they could not even access Parliament. Many people don't know that many members of Parliament could not be allowed to reach their nomination centers to be voted or to be nominated for an election. Many people don't know that for a very long time, people in Luwero was a no-go zone. Luwero Triangle is not only Luwero, you are talking about the greater Luwero, which includes areas like Shankwanzi, Uvende, and the expanse now covering Hoima and the other parts of Bunyoro. All that became the extended part of Luwero, where there was almost no economic activity during the insurgency. Because of the bad administration, politics that was based on sectarian tendencies, people joined politics. You find that most of the Anglicans were either UPCs. Here, the people of Buganda, we belong to the Kabaka Yeka. Then when you came to the Democratic Party, it was predominantly Catholic and some marginalized members of the Muslim community. So politics, the foundation for good governance and development, was based on sectarian tendencies. And because of that, therefore, people hated one another. People had prejudices against some tribes and sentiments. You saw what happened here when the Kabaka was exiled. And what indeed happened, that we needed to have a new beginning. And NRM Day, the 26th of January 1986, was the climax of a protracted struggle which had started many years before. It is an activity. Although Kampala, the government fell on 26th, the whole of Uganda was not liberated on 26th.
Yes.
At that time, there were many areas in Uganda that hadn't been liberated. So, although we celebrate that day for the overthrow of the administration that was there then, the protracted struggle was still continuing. You know that over the years, after NRM administration came to power, many people also wanted to emulate what the NRM had done. They thought they can easily get to the bush and also overthrow the NRM administration.
The Itongwas, Lakwena.
So there were a number of insurgencies.
So many then.
Here in Uganda, there was the Itongwa, as you are talking about it. There was the the Otai army in Teso. I think it was UPDA, whatever it was at that time, which was predominant in Teso. There was the Lakwena movement. There was the Konyi movement. All which were fought and they were defeated by the national resistance movement. So the young people who grew up yesterday and they see the prevalent peace, the economy flourishing, the people of Uganda enjoying the politics, those who want to get elected, they offer themselves. They must know that all these are a product of a protracted people's struggle whose success culminated into the celebration of the overthrow of the then administration on the 26th of January 1986.
Now, that having said, you've talked about the successes, how this country was liberated, how we began on a journey that we are still continuing. But analysts argue that one of the challenges NRM is facing is managing success. One would say we had so many children dying for the age of 5. Now, government of Uganda with developing partners came up with a number of programs on immunization. So now we don't have children die of that huge magnitude because of the immunizable diseases. That yes, we had one university, now we have plenty of universities.
Absolutely, yes.
One would say, yes, there were so many issues of extrajudicial killings. Today we have people being shot on streets, and all VIPs, each one must move with a guard to survive. Some are looking for bulletproof cars. When you talk about agriculture, that there was no agriculture, today the cost of maize today has dropped, whereas now people go in gardens and are able to cultivate. So these issues, the youthful population, it is educated, unemployed. Others, we have quality, not quantity. When you go to these ghettos, you find wasted youth. You know, all these are failures to manage success. What are you doing to overcome this weakness as we celebrate 38 years?
First of all, I don't know what faith you subscribe to.
I'm a born-again Christian.
You're a born-again Christian. You know, I like the born-again people, and especially the pastors, because every morning they keep chasing demons. But the demons never get finished. Because you'd ask a pastor, if you chased the demons yesterday, why are you chasing them again today?
Different demons.
So,
or some are persistent. some are very resistant. They don't go in one day.
So, even the NRM administration is like that. It overthrew a bad regime, but it did not remove the devil. Because the devil survives in the hearts and minds of individuals. You can sit with somebody without knowing what he feels, what he thinks. Then the following day he takes a bomb, puts it under the church or under the tax park, and people can be blown. So, dealing with matters of governance and development, it is a continuous process, and it is an everyday process, like it is in the faith. You know, for me, I'm an Anglican, and there are things that are repeated every day. They have never changed. The Lord's Prayer is the
Apostle
same.
Creed.
The Apostles' Creed is the same. The grace is the same. But many young people, when you tell them about what happened in RM, they say to Akowa, Mwakowa bichi, bwemugenda mu kanisa nga temukowa kusaba.
Koko ya mwavu tegwa mebaza.
Anti naye bw'ogenda mu kanisa lwaki tokowa kusaba? Kubanga Katonda, God, you go to God to pray every day and repeat the same things and tell him as if he doesn't know. God created you and he knows
and
what
yet he
is in your
says
heart.
even before you pray.
So, if that happens,
Yes.
it is much more required of us as human beings and in administration. That is why, in the National Resistance Movement, we continually teach the young people, one, to appreciate their history, to learn and know what they must do now in preparation for them. I want to go through a systematic. When we talk about the NRM success, what exactly do we talk about? Because first and foremost, there was no government to talk about. If you were an adult at that time in Uganda, you saw that at one time when Okello Lutwa took over government, one of the areas was controlled by Kaira, another time was under Fedemu.
So like we had warlords.
We had the warlords, and really, you only survived if you came to Kampala and went back alive. But even if you died, who exactly would be responsible for your life? Or whom would you blame? Many people died at that time. And to be necessitated the NRM administration to come and take over the realm of power in order to organize governance. And in organizing governance, what did the NRM do? It came up with a minimum political agenda. The first one is that let us put the political parties aside and come and work together as Ugandans.
In the movement system.
In the movement system. And therefore creation of a broad-based administration which will kill, which killed the many sectarian tendencies that existed then, is the hallmark in the NRM administration. And we are very grateful to the leaders, some of them have since passed on, who really foresaw this and they accepted. Person like Honorable Paul Kawanga Semogerere, may he rest in peace. Many people criticized him. Why are you joining President Museveni? People like Examba Mugerwa, the late. People like Sevana Kizito. Many people from Professor Kai, Professor Chesimira. Those were very strong Democratic Party stalwarts. But in the interest of peace and stability of the country, they joined the NRM under a broad-based administration, and they created stability for Uganda to recover from what was happening. Right now, you can find many people of dissenting political views talking to one another. You can see the opposition. They are trying to emulate. They are trying to come up with coalitions so that they come together. But the best coalition they should make is let them coalesce with the NRM administration. They come and we work together to develop Uganda. Instead of them working together to overthrow President Museveni, let them join the people of Uganda and we work in order to uphold. Then the second one is security. You see, if you want to know that Uganda is secure, go to the bus park. Kampala doesn't sleep. There are border people who work at night, and there are border people who work during the day.
Actually, it is one of the countries within East Africa that has the best nightlife. You
see, now, if that is...
everywhere, bars, whatever, people are partying, enjoying till morning.
And as they do that, there are those at the farms working. I've been to many parts of Uganda at 2 a.m. and people are milking.
Yes.
Trucks are bringing milk to Kampala. People are loading matoke to their vehicles. This is the transformation. All this happens because of the confidence people know that they will travel at night and reach safely. So creation and establishment of peace from border to border is a very strong foundation which was brought by the NRM administration. And because of that, therefore, many people have brought their money here. The private people, the private investors, they have built factories. Now those factories are providing jobs for our people. One of the biggest problems we have here in Uganda, President Museveni has kept talking about it. I don't know what we're going to do in order to reverse it, is the nature of education that we give our children. You know, God gave us hands. This is the only tool on the human body which can touch any part of your body when you are closing your eyes. You don't need, when something itches you on the back, this arm will rotate and touch there without you looking there first to see where it's being itched. So this is the biggest tool God gave us to use. Unfortunately, the education brought by the colonialists. They gave us sociology, they gave us religious education, they gave us women emancipation. So many funny courses where children have graduated, but they cannot use their arms to provide. That's why the president has repeatedly introduced what they call skilling. That the people must be reskilled. Those who went to school, they are looking for jobs, yet there are many jobs in factories, and they want people who can use their hands. So, to a man like Murwana, who has a farm, or who had a farm, is producing milk and yogurt, he wants somebody who will work in his factory. If you go with a degree in religious studies, how will you be helpful, or how will you be helped? So we need to reskill the people of Uganda in order to enable the young people join the productive age. The other bigger problem which NRM now deals with is the mindset change. Yesterday I was watching news on one of the TV stations, and there was a young man who went and sold land, and he took to a witch doctor, and he wanted the money to multiply, and they said Bampa de Chiboxi, he put the money there, 50 million, and they locked it, and they say you want to wait for 3 weeks. The money will just expand and the thing busts, and you'll get 150 million. And he was freely explaining this on TV. I said, what type of madness is this?
In the 21st century.
In the 21st century, a person in Uganda sells his father's land, which he worked for, in order to do such a thing. So, those are challenges that the NRM administration will deal with, but the foundations of governance have been dealt with. Selection and election of leaders, those who were here in 1980, they know really what happened, especially here in Uganda. You know, people may blame the Electoral Commission for the inadequacies that we have today. It may not be perfect. They are human beings. They have their weaknesses. But when the elections take place, they announce the results as they have gotten them. That time, even the Electoral Commission was not allowed. There was a decree where the chairman of the Military Commission had to come up and announce the results instead of the Electoral Commission. So, when I see people blaming the Honorable Justice Biabashaija, Justice Biamukama, that he mismanaged the elections, he did this, but at least people have been elected.
Now, Honorable Dombo, that said, yes, we set the foundations, and indeed, with that rich background, there is a reason to celebrate. But in comparison, 38 years is Uganda where it should be. When we're looking at some of the countries by then, the likes of Singapore, that actually were at the same economic footing, they seem to have advanced so further than where we are as a country. At 38 years, are you proud that Uganda today is in a situation where it is, in terms of our GDP, in terms of what we are able to fund of our budget away from loans, either domestic loans or international loans, are we at a pace of leadership within 38 years? There.
I would have asked the same question to you. Because we have neighbors. Why do you talk about Singapore, me, where I cannot be? I even don't know the DNA of the people of Singapore and how they did it. But we have Tanzania, they are our neighbors. We have Rwanda, we have Kenya, we have Ivory Coast, we have African countries where we are living in the same geographical setting, in the same political environment, and in the same economic environment, that the factors that affect those countries are the same. Look at countries which have been stable for over these years. Are they any miles ahead of us?
Tanzania has been stable in the region.
Yes.
I think Kenya has been
Absolutely.
Quite stable, at least the other time when they had some issues after elections.
So when you compare Uganda to those countries that have been stable,
Sudan has never ended.
You can see that
Congo.
If Uganda, perhaps if NRM administration had come earlier and stayed longer with the stability like those years, I believe we could be very far away. I'll give you an example. Look at the discovery of the oil. We have discovered the oil. We are working and progressing toward this extraction of the oil and have a refinery here so that the people of Uganda can best be served. Supposing this was discovered about 40 years ago, where would Uganda be if the oil is well utilized?
I love the word you've used, well utilized, because you've had countries that have discovered oil and they have had an oil
even bigger problems. That's, yes, I have to put those in there because I am very conscious. So Uganda, over the years, Our friends from Western Uganda have a proverb that when you have come from under the soil, you cannot complain about the amount of sunshine because you are under the ground. Now you have come out and least celebrate for what you have. So because Uganda were under the soil, over these 30 years of recovery, Uganda has recovered. We have set up a constitutional mechanism through which leaders can be elected. The economy is on good footing. We can fund the biggest part of our budget. We need budget support, but progressively, as many Uganda come to the money economy, we shall be able to sustain and collect enough money to fund the activities that we need. There are challenges that have been a big problem up to today. For instance, corruption. Corruption, every time you read the newspapers and you go to courts, you see that there is a very big problem by many public officers who have been trusted with as custodians of public funds. This is something that we need to, I don't know what exactly we are supposed to do, but we have institutions that have been set up. We need proactive reaction by everybody, because when you arrest a public officer for being corrupt, there must be evidence and somebody must be willing to be a witness. At times, many cases have failed. So that one is still a very huge challenge.
But on corruption, because you've mentioned, actually it was what I was going to ask you next, that much as all this there is corruption. But Honorable, what is lacking? You are a politician, you've been around, these things happen. In a country where someone can be robbed of 2.2 billion in a home, a person has that money home and the guards can steal it. In a country where people go and buy wagons that cannot move on the rails that you have, neither rotate, but they have used money. We have the institutions, we have the laws. I think we have we have so many laws fighting corruption. Now, I don't want to believe that corrupt officers are really too smart to be arrested. Is there a will by your party? Selective justice are some of the issues we keep on talking about.
Some of fighting corruption is a very sophisticated affair. And two, corruption is very attractive and very sweet. So fighting something attractive and sweet to the people fighting it, at times it compromises them. There are many people, judicial officers, who fail to make judgment because they have been compromised. There are many CID officers who are made statements and provide statements that will not lead to somebody being convicted. People steal and hide exhibits. So these are complicated matters. There is also technology, because now we are dealing with digitalization. Because of digital banking and the online fraud, there are so many complicated things that you need to train people who are willing to fight corruption, because it takes two to tango. If corruption, there are those who give because they are really having a problem, they want to get over it, and there is the other one who is so it's a complicated thing that government is trying its best, but because it is attractive, it compromises people on the way and they hide the tracks. But those who have been arrested and gotten, you can go to Luzira and see there are many public officers who are still serving. Yesterday, 2 days ago, one of my brothers was given clearance by the president because had been convicted. There are many people who have followed a similar suit. So the convictions have been successful.
But still, even there, sorry to cut you short, why is the big fish? Yes, convictions happen. You hear district officers, this, but the big fish is the question. Ugandans are thirsty to see big fish arrested due to corruption. We have had a number of sagas, a number of complications, a number of these cases.
What is the biggest fund in Uganda?
NSSF.
So you think executive director of NSSF is a small fish?
We need more.
That's what you say. You say we need more. But to say where is the big fish, when the other day they release the big fish. Then you cannot say the big fish is not there.
Given the magnitude of the program, of the problem.
A permanent secretary was given clemency, Minister of Local Government.
Yes, Ramafa.
Was that a small fish? So many people have been convicted. Just say, let there be more. And let the judiciary, let the police, let the CID officers do their work as much as possible. And let the public volunteer evidence and come and give testimony in courts whenever they are required, so that convictions can be made. Because you not just convict on suspicion, you must convict on evidence. And if people don't give evidence, then it becomes a very huge problem.
Let's go to the theme of this year. The celebrations are going to be held in Jinja City. That is tomorrow, the 26th of this very month. Now, the theme is building a country that everyone cherishes. What a lovely theme. Practicability of this.
Building a country we all cherish is not an event. It is a process. And NRM is not saying we are going to build. But ever since the NRM administration came into power, it has been doing a number of programs under different themes, but all geared at building a country that we all cherish. You know, it is very difficult working with the people and making them believe in the same thing.
True.
I'll give you an example. When President Museveni appoints members of the Electoral Commission, and he appoints them from NRM, the opposition complains. Why do you only appoint people who are from NRM? But the same president, when he appoints Honorable Mao to be a minister from the opposition, again the same opposition complains. Why are you taking the people from the opposition?
You're weakening us.
So you are weakening us. So shouldn't President Museveni appoint Ugandans? Because they are either opposition or not opposition. Because we have the same span.
Don't you think your two examples have a mismatch somewhere around?
No, they are not.
This one is going to be a judge. They are going to hold elections where President Museveni is going to be a participant. The other one is working in ministries, heading a Ministry of Justice, the likes of Honorable Sebugwawo, State Minister for ICT. But this one is quite bigger. We have a referee.
It is not the first time.
And sometimes these people may think, let's have a neutral.
There are commissioners from the Democratic Party which were appointed in the Electoral Commission previously. And still people, Ugandans came and said the same things. You know, building a country, Museveni appoints basing on provisions of the law. First and foremost, what does the law say?
Yes.
It says you must appoint reputable Ugandans. And when he appoints reputable Ugandans from the opposition, many people complain. That's why he picks from the reputable Ugandans who are willing to work in the circumstances that they should. But if the members of parliament feel that there is an inadequacy in the law on the way the president appoints commissioners, and they would want to modify it, that is upon parliament to do that and modify the law. And once the law is modified, I know the president will comply, because that's what the law will be saying. But for now, he must go ahead to do this. So for us as a country, the national resistance movement is making progress. Corruption has been a very huge challenge, like we have talked about. The education system is still has a lot of inadequacies because we are still churning out many young people who cannot get into the employable structure. But all that is the responsibility that we have as a party, and that is what we have been building over the years. So, building a country
that everyone,
that we all cherish, started with the building the foundation of government, creation of a working system, adoption of a constitution so that we can have a democratic system through which we elect leaders, creation of security in order to invite the young people parents who may be poor. The government created UPE and USE so that everybody can go to school. The people who could not access, health, they brought immunization so that the life expectancy can grow. The mothers who are dying because of giving birth, you improve the health services. And the women who are being discriminated and the people with disability, you create opportunities for them to get elected, and you appoint them to big positions so that people women can also demonstrate. You know, the other day there's a tweet I sent yesterday. I was saying, where are the Ugandan referees? We used to have Masembe in AFCON. Me, at that time, even if Uganda was not there, but Masembe was the referee during a final, one of the finals. I think Tunisia versus some country.
He got his challenges.
I know the challenges he got, but I celebrated a Ugandan being the final man to handle that level of trust. So in this AFCON, I've been looking for even liners I can't see. And what surprised me is that some countries have brought women.
Yes.
Women referees to preside over matches, football for men. But Uganda cannot even send a male one. So I've been asking, what is it that has brought this?
I'll give you room for Ruben Mpima Kasera to host you during sports. But Honorable, time looks to be moving very fast. Now, this could be small issues, but for a country like Uganda, you need to iron them out. Now, are these celebrations national celebrations, or are they party celebrations? If so, why do we see the opposition most of the times shun them?
Well, that's a question I think the opposition should be brought here.
No, I begin with the NRM. Are they national celebrations?
This is a national celebrations. And I wish I had known that you'd be asking me that question. I should have come with a copy of my card, which I was invited for you to read and know that this is a national celebration. When you look at the order of arrival on the national card which has been printed, the leader of the opposition is not only invited, but is also facilitated and given fuel and the resources that may deliver him or her to the function or all national functions in the country. I was in Parliament and I was a parliamentary commissioner when that budget of the leader of the opposition was created. Actually, we almost scrapped it when Honorable Nandala Mafavi was the leader of the opposition and was not attending national functions. Our commission was very tough with Honorable Omunsi, Honorable Kadaga. We said, why should we give you a budget? And one of the things budgeted for in that budget is fuel to attend national ceremonies. And you, when you receive the fuel, you drive to go and do other things. That is part of corruption, by the way. So, this is a national function. And one of the issues which Nandala Mafavi raised at that time, when we were in the commission, he said, but why does the president disparage us when he comes to that function? And we had an opportunity to have a meeting with the president and had a discussion about this, and we brought it to his attention what the opposition had been saying. And I don't think, one, he said, but he doesn't do it. He said he has been attacking past leaders because of the bad things they did, or the current people in the opposition for the bad things they are currently doing. Because if you are having an armed summit in Munyonyo, and then you are the leader of the opposition, and then you are mobilizing people to go and plant banana plantations in the road. If you are a mayor who is supposed to be internalizing or interacting with your fellow mayors,
how best to move Kampala forward,
to move Kampala forward, and the best you are doing is to mobilize Ugandans to go and demonstrate about the same roads you promised to do for them when you are looking for votes. So because of that, the president said, now what should I talk about? If they have done a bad thing, should I come and celebrate and say they have done a good thing? So we had to go back to the opposition and also tell them. But that budget has never been scrapped. Their invitation has never been stopped. And the facilitation that government enables the people to attend such meetings has never been stopped. So the next time you bring the opposition, come bring them and ask them why.
But there's also, I spoke to some of them, and they're saying the function in its nature, yet much as they must realize that the truth is, anyway, the truth is it was NRM that conquered power on this day. But they're saying there is so much, he used the word NRA, like presence or extreme, that when they come, it's all about as if it's a party function, and they remove the nationalness in it, and they front the partiness. So it's more of an NRM gathering for them to celebrate their success, and they don't see anywhere where it is national in character.
Honorable Cecilia Ogwalo has died. When we go to her place to mourn her, do we become FDC? We don't. So when the national function has occurred and there is NRM there, do you become NRM? You remain a Ugandan. When you come there as a NUP, you remain a NUP. When you come there as a FDC, you remain FDC. When Honorable Cecilia Ogwalo was invited to NRM headquarters, she came as FDC and she left as FDC. That sickness is in people's minds. It is not a fundamental thing that should prevent Ugandans from working together. When they meet in parliament, they go and meet there because they earn. They all benefit. How come they go to parliament where is the national, even when the president is there? But because they benefit as individuals, they would rather go to something where they benefit, but keep pretending that they are fighting President Museveni when it is not beneficial to the people of Uganda, neither is it beneficial to them, apart from masquerading for things that may not be.
Well, Honorable, our time seems to be done, but let me have your parting shot regarding tomorrow's event that will be taking place in Jinja, the 38th NRA anniversary.
I want to congratulate the people of Uganda. I want to congratulate His Excellency, the National Chairman of NRM and President of Uganda, the members of the Central Executive Committee, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, the Ministers, members of Parliament, the District Chairman of NRM, the Chairman of the districts wherever you are, irrespective of your parties, the people of Uganda. Let us build a country that we all cherish. A country where young people will go to school, where mothers will not die giving birth, where young people who are yearning and coming out of school, they can get jobs. A country where there is going to be security. A country where we are going to respect one another and honor. A country where we shall talk about the history and honor those who fought for this liberation. I congratulate everybody and I appeal, bana abasoga, n'abantu abalidinda mwidde ku lunaku lwa celebration ku isomero awo mwidde twaniriza omukulu. I want to thank the Honorable Babalanda. I saw her mobilizing the people of Busoga. And let me call on everybody that let us abide by the rule of law and respect one another. May God bless you.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Honorable Emmanuel Dombo, the Director of Communication, NRM. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And above all, my bosses, you the viewers. Thank you so much for being with us from 6:30 till now, or no matter what time that you joined. I'm very eager to have you tomorrow. Don't forget, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC TV, will be covering this live from Jinja City. So if you're around there, don't miss the opportunity of going and being part of these celebrations. When our country began that journey that we are still moving, so much has been achieved. We came from far, and there's still so much to achieve together as countrymen. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow, God willing, for God and my country.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome to Dade Nursery and Primary School, Luzira, a